Yep, an Apex 19 on the console. You know, there's a couple things that I was worried about running this big of a unit up here. The first thing was how high was it going to be sticking up? But I talked with Michael about it, shared my concerns, and he actually called Bass Boat Technologies while I was standing there with him, and the guy told him, hey, look, this is what we'll do. We'll drop that mountain bracket as low as possible, and then we'll get the shortest gimbal that we sell for the 19, and that should be perfect. It should sit nice tucked in there, out of the way, not super high. And let me tell you, they freaking knocked it out of the park. So I just wanted to show a little clip right here of how good that 19 fits that console. I mean, look at that sucker. Let's talk about this mount right here. See what they did here. So they dropped that bracket down as low as they could. Got the shortest gimbal they offer, and that sucker is right. Super pleased about that. Side imaging, I could see one single shad out here at 100 foot, no problem. High definition. Let's come up here to the front. All right, so up here on the front we have an Explorer 9, and this is solely for mapping. Drop my waypoints back there, and they pop up here. One single Ethernet cable. I have no Ethernet junction box like I had to have with the Helixes. One single Ethernet cable that connects them. Super simple, easy. Something goes wrong, I know it's got to be that cable. Live scope. I went with the Garmin 1643 XSV. I was deciding between that or the NBT 18, and I decided I just wanted to go with Garmin. Just stick with Garmin. And so that's what I did. We're running the 32 plus transducer, or the 34 plus transducer, I'm sorry. And mounted to that transducer, what holds it to the trolling motor, is the Fish Obsessed mount. Awesome mount. I've already adjusted it. I am getting a clear image. I can see my lure from as soon as it hits the water all the way to the bottom. My other unit, couldn't see that. A lot of adjustment here with this. I could go into perspective mode or stay in forward mode like I am right now. Trolling motor, we went with the Minn Kota Quest, the Ultrex Quest. Let me tell you, that sucker is quiet. Completely different than my old Ultrex. Whenever I hit that foot pedal, the first time I was out, I was like, is this thing even, is it working? I had to look down at my graph to see that I was moving to know that it was working. That's how quiet it is. We almost had a big uh-oh over here. Y'all see my plastic plate there. I repaired the hole that was in my deck here. But so I installed the trolling motor mount stabilizer. Michael, Mealey Marine, the guys down there, they didn't install it because the hole was there. They didn't want it just going down in the hole. Understandable. So got it home, I fixed the hole, I installed it, I went to drop the trolling motor in the water, and luckily I had the cover on the Garmin, and the pole came down and hit this corner pretty hard. Now, that'll bring me to my next point that I forgot to mention. If y'all are running screens like this, highly recommend get y'all a screen protector. This is a glass screen protector from Precision Sonar, and I'm very pleased with it. It's a full touch screen, it's fingerprint resistant, so I can touch it, hardly leaves any fingerprints on there. I did order one for my Apex 19. UPS broke it in the mail. Called Precision Sonar, let them know. No questions asked. They sent me another one the same day. So that should be getting here within the next couple days. What else? Console. Hop in the boat. break it down. This is one of my favorite pieces that I did on this boat, right here. No more plastic. We all know if you own a Skeeter, the plastic cooler lid is the first thing that's gonna break on you. You get out there, somebody steps on it, you open it up too hard, it snaps, the hinge snaps. Well, don't have to deal with that anymore. I have an aluminum box from Tiny Boat Nations, and it's 15 by 15. It was the same price if I was to upgrade to the FX model cooler lid that had the little pad back here, which I'm gonna have C-deck here whenever that is done. So same price, but this is all aluminum, and you get some what's soon to be dry storage. Right now it is not dry storage. I need to add some more, a little foam lip around here to where whenever I close that lid, it completely seals it off. So funny story about this. I was sitting out here before I took the boat down there to Mealey Marine, and me and my daughter were talking about it, and I was telling her what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to put it on a hinge to where it would lift up like the old cooler lid. My daughter's 7. She goes, well, Daddy, why don't you make it slide to where you don't have to hold it up anymore? You don't have to worry about it falling. You just slide it, you get your stuff, and then you can close it. I said, you're a genius. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it slide, and we made it slide. The one thing that I am gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to add some foam back here around this lip because it's not getting a tight seal. I did have ice in there. The ice only lasts about a half a day. So I think if I put foam around this lip and give me a good seal whenever I close this lid, the ice is gonna last. It's definitely gotta be better than the plastic cooler lid. So what I did with that is I got 2 shelving C-channels and I ran them on each side. I bolted them down to the boat using sheet metal screws, and just sheet metal screws seem to bite better in fiberglass than your standard screw. So ran sheet metal screws at the back and at the front. That's what stops this lid from not being able to come all the way out. And then the rollers I used for it were actually shower door rollers. So they're plastic rollers with a little bearing, one single bearing in there. And I mean, I can jump on it, come down here, and it rolls just fine. So if I want to adjust how hard it is, like whenever I close it or whenever I pull it out so it doesn't want to roll back on me, all I got to do is tighten those screws, and it's going to pinch down on that C-channel. It's going to in turn pinch down on those wheels, and it's going to make it a little bit tougher to open and close. But where it's at right now, I've had no issues. One more final thing. All right, so Mealey Marine is actually making the lights now that bolt onto your power poles, Raptors. This is actually the Pro Series 2, so these are a little bit older. They're not the blades, not an issue. They still go on there. And let me tell you, this sucker is sleek. I'm not gonna brand drop or anything, but I know a couple other brands that ran on buddies' boats, and they're big, bulky, they clank around. This sucker's rock solid. It's not going anywhere. So I highly recommend y'all go check that out, mealeymarine.com. He's been putting them on quite a bit of boats, so y'all go get you one before he sold out of them, and you gotta wait for him to make more. I think that's it, and that's what all the work, all these electronics and stuff that I just showed y'all, everything that I just showed y'all, other than the console, Mealey Marine, that's who did it. Top-notch work. I mean, I can't say anything better about them. All right, so the storage, we went with Amped Marine, and let me tell you, we tricked this sucker out. We got pretty much almost everything other than, you know, like the little hang-on ones and stuff like that you could get for these boats. So for my boat, it's a team boat, so originally there was no tackle storage or anything in here. I kind of makeshifted tackle to be able to go in here. I moved the boxes that came stock with the Plano 3700s holders, and I screwed them down to this one side. Definitely wasn't the best option, but it was my only option, and it worked. It worked for a while. So now this sucker is organized and clean, and it probably won't stay that way, but right now it looks really good. So got the full amp box. I got the other side piece for this side too, over here, the piece that runs up that side, But the crankbait box that I have, this big one, this big box wouldn't fit in there. So I just took it out of there, set it in there in the shop. And if I find a need for it, I want to change out that box, then I can put it back in the boat. But the Bubba scale holder, if I can talk. So this, the guy actually hooked me up with this one. I kind of was like, well, what am I going to do with it? And he's like, oh, you'll find a use for it. So already I've kind of found a use for it. And that is I only got one thing in there because I've only been fishing 2 times. But to put my soft plastic, say if I'm trying different ones, this freeloader was actually on a chatterbait. I didn't even catch a fish on it. It was only on that chatterbait. So instead of just throwing it in the bottom of the boat and now it goes to the garbage, I can throw those baits in here that are not really used, like, you know, like my mooch minnows or freeloaders, crawls. You know, if you're going through, you're trying different colors, you put on a color, you fish with it for, you know, 30 minutes or so. It sucks to rip that sucker off and just throw it in the bottom of the boat. Not anymore. I can throw it right in that box. It stays out of the weather. You know, it's not like it's laying over here on the deck of the boat where it's going to get all messed up by the sun. So that's really cool. I got the little hanger here for my used baits. It came longer than that. I cut the other one, put it over here. I planned on running it on both sides until I actually went fishing in the boat. Went, yeah, that's not going to work because my foot's always on this side anytime I'm digging in the tackle box. So I might could use this for, you know, like my smaller hooks and stuff like that, but putting crankbaits and bigger baits in there ain't gonna work. It's just gonna end up in my foot. So we do have the understep storage too, but I can't put that on there till the sea deck is on. Don't get me started on that again. We got the day box. Awesome, I already love it. So now we got all neoprene rod sleeve covers. That's gonna take getting used to too. With no carpet on there, these doors are pretty loud whenever you shut them. That's another one of them things that we got to figure out. Now, since we're right here, we're gonna talk about gaps. That thing is giant. That is a giant gap. I don't have anything I can really show y'all, give a comparison to, but here's a pair of, you know, your standard fishing pliers. It's huge. I don't know what I'm going to do about those. I do not know what I'm going to do about that. That's another one of the things that we got to figure out. I talked to the guy that's doing the sea deck, and he said that they do have 13 mil thickness sea deck that I could probably put on the side of this, but he said he doesn't know if it's going to stick or, you know, the first thing that pushes down on it, if it's just going to peel it right off. So I'm still brainstorming. So if y'all have any ideas on how to fill this, let me know. It's big. I mean, I bet it's an inch at least.
All right, guys, we're on the home pond today. And look, most of the time I don't film out here, but today, if we have a good day, I'm posting it. It's the first time I'm fishing with the new chromium feather from Kistler, and let me tell you, this sucker is light now. I went to go show my brother. We were working on his boat yesterday, and I had the box sitting on his boat there, and he picked the box up and was going to throw it away because he didn't even know there was a reel in it. So just tells you how light this sucker is. Would you know it, I can catch a fish. Calm down, buddy. Golly. Skinny. Came up there and looked at it, but as soon as I started moving it, it would swim away, and then I'd pause it and it'd come back up there and look at it.
That's a better one. Maybe a 2-pounder. Oh yeah. That's a 2-pounder for sure. Maybe close to 2.5. Look at them suckers. I could 100% crank those though. 100%. 100%. Let's see. That 300 DD should be perfect. If they'll eat it. Yep. Yep. I might have got 2. I did. I did get 2. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, he came off. Dang it. That's not a bad fish though. Oh. This sucker wasn't coming off.
Amazing!
Probably 3.5, 312. Thing is I never hit the bottom. There we go. Oh, they're trying to take it from them. Okay. Okay. We can rock with that. Oh, shit. Oh, she's only got one up. And look at that freaking hook, just crankbait just falls out. Let's freaking go, dude. Oh man. Here we go. Here we go. just lock. 4-4. Ah, yeah. Thanks. They're all good and too. They're all freaking good and too, boy. Golly. Oh, yes. Get up here on the deck of this boat. Flop around up here on no carpet. No carpet, no nothing. She had that crankbait stretched now. 3-7. 15-13, baby. There it is. Man, when they hit it, boy, they run straight up. That's probably getting close to a 5, man. Let's freaking go, dude. Finally a group of fish that are where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. Come on, lock. 4.8, 4.5 pounder. Yes, sir. Meat, baby. Now, let's see here. 18-14. About to find out. It's running like a bass. Okay, it's running like a pretty decent bass. It is a pretty decent bass. Gosh almighty. It's because she ran up there and just grabbed the back of that hook. Come on. You gotta be wore out. Oh my gosh, I ain't never in my life. Daggone. Dude, that's a hefty one right there. That's a Lake Conroe freaking stud. Boy, I had her pinned right behind that gill plate. Well, that goes to show you I don't know what I'm talking about because it was bass. Freaking begging too. Let's freaking go. I'm gonna say 6 for sure. Six, 8, so 6.5. Select. That's 22 pounds right there. There's a better one. No. Oh. You gotta be wore out now, buddy. Boy, you wanted that sucker, didn't you? Couple more jumps and it'd have been free. That actually feels pretty heavy. I mean, that might be the Keeper 313. Or I could just be wishful thinking. Oh yeah. Block. 4.5. $23.15. Oh yeah. All right. That's gonna do her.